Yeah. So this is a nice bright morning, and I got a bright, nice story for you. This story is titled "How the Leopard Got His Spots." I don't know how it goes. Let us hope it is interesting and entertaining. In the days when everybody started fair, best beloved, the leopard lived in a place called High Wealth. Remember, it wasn't the low wealth or the bush wealth or the sour wealth, but the exclusively bare, hot, shiny high wealth, where there was sand and sandy colored rock and exclusive tufts of sandy yellowish grass. The giraffe and the zebra and the eland and the kudu and the hartebeest lived there, and they were exclusively sandy yellow brownish all over. So all of them were sandy brownish. But the leopard, he was the exclusivest, sandiest, yellowish, brownest of them all. So they were all living in a place where it was there was sand, it was sandy colored rock, and sandy yellow grass. Everything was sandy colored. So the giraffe, the zebra, the eland, the kudu, the hartebeest, all of them which lived there, they were all exclusively sandy yellow brownish all over. So they blended with the background very beautifully, and it was difficult for any predator to identify, locate, and attack them. So there was safety in being the same color as the background. And he matched the exclusivity, yellowish, grayish, brownish color of the high wealth to one hair. That was very bad for the giraffe and the yes. The leopard was also living there, and he was the exclusivest, sandiest, yellowishest, brownest of them all. A grayish, yellowish, catty shaped kind of beast, and he the matched the exclusively yellowish, grayish, brownish color of the high wealth to one hair. Absolute perfect match. This was very bad for the giraffe and the zebra and the rest of them, for he would lie down by an exclusively yellowish, grayish, brownish stone or clump of grass. And when the giraffe or the zebra or the eland or the kudu or the bushbuck or the bontebuck come by, he would surprise them out of their jumpsome lives, because he would be lying there quietly, and his color and the color of the grass and the sand and everything would be same. The giraffe would not notice, the other animal would not notice that there's a leopard lying there waiting, and the leopard would jump in and give them a surprise. He would surprise them out of their lives. He would indeed. And also, there was an Ethiopian with bows and arrows, an exclusively grayish, brownish, yellowish man he was then, who lived on the high veld with the leopard. And the two used to hunt together. The Ethiopian man and the leopard used to hunt together. The Ethiopian with his bows and arrows, and the leopard exclusively with his teeth and claws. Till the giraffe and the eland and the kudu and the kogga and all the rest of them didn't know which way to jump. Best beloved, they didn't indeed. After a long time, things lived for ever so long in those days. After a long time, they learned to avoid anything that looked like a leopard or an Ethiopian. And bit by bit, the giraffe began it. Because his legs were longest, They went away from the high wealth. They scuttled for days and days, till they came to a great forest, exclusively full of trees and bushes and stripy, speckly, patchy, blotchy shadows. And there they hid. So they moved to another place and there they hid. And after another long time, what with standing half in the shade and half out of it, and what with the slippery, slidey shadows of the trees falling on them, the giraffe grew blotchy, and the zebra grew stripy, and the eland and the kudu grew darker, with little wavy grey lines on their backs, like bark on a tree trunk. And so, though you could hear them and smell them, you could very seldom see them. And then only when you knew precisely where to look. They had a beautiful time in the exclusively spickly shadows of the forest, while the leopard and the Ethiopian ran about over the exclusively greyish, yellowish, reddish high wealth outside, wondering where all the breakfasts and their dinners and their teas had gone. All the animals had vanished because they had merged into the background, and the leopard and the Ethiopian could not locate the animals. So the zebra, the giraffe, the kudu, the all the animals vanished. Where did they go? They didn't go anywhere. They just developed camouflage. Their skins became same as the background. So when the leopard looked or the Ethiopian looked at the distance, they could not see the animal's shape because it merges into the background. Hmm. So at last they were so hungry that they ate rats and beetles and rock rabbits, the leopard and the Ethiopian. And then they had the big tummy ache, both together. And then they met Babian, the dog-headed barking baboon, who is quite the wisest animal in all South Africa. So they could not find any food because all the animals vanished into the background by merging in the background with the camouflage. So they ate all sundry things like rabbits or rats or beetles, and they had stomachache. So, so the baboon told them. So the leopard told to the baboon, "Where is all the game gone?" And the baboon winked. He knew. So the Ethiopian said to Babian, the baboon, "Can you tell me the present habitat of the aboriginal fauna?" That meant just the same thing, but the Ethiopian always used long words. He was a grown-up man. So he asked, "Can you tell me the present habitat of the aboriginal fauna?" Which means same, where are all the animals? And Bhavan, the baboon, winked. He knew. Then said Babian, "The game has gone into other spots, and my advice to you, leopard, is to go into other spots as soon as you can." So this baboon is advising the leopard, all the animals have gone to other spots. So you also go to other spots. And the Ethiopian said, "That's all very fine, but I wish to know whether the original aboriginal fauna has migrated." Migrate means they have left this place for good and moved on to another place. Then said the baboon, the Babian, "The aboriginal fauna has joined the aboriginal flora because it was high time for a change. And my advice to you, Ethiopian, is to change as soon as you can. So this baboon says the animals have all changed and merged with the flora. Fauna are the animals and flora are the trees and flowers and the leaves and grass and everything. So the fauna have changed to look same as the flora, so you cannot distinguish them. So the baboon says, the fauna has joined the flora because it was high time for a change. And my advice to you, Ethiopian, is to change as soon as you can. You too should change. That puzzled the leopard and the Ethiopian, but they set off to look for the aboriginal flora. And precisely after ever so many days, they saw a great, high, tall forest full of tree trunks, all exclusively speckled and spotted and spotted, dotted and splashed and slashed and hatched and cross-hatched with shadows. Say that quickly aloud, and you will see how very shadowy the forest must have been. So they came to a high, tall forest full of tree trunks, all exclusively speckled and spotted and spotted, dotted and splashed and slashed and hatched and cross-hatched with shadows. What is this? Said the leopard. That is so exclusively dark and yet so full of little pieces of light. I don't know, said the Ethiopian, but it ought to be the aboriginal flora. I can smell giraffe and I can hear giraffe, but I can't see giraffe. So that is what the Ethiopian said. That's curious, said the leopard. I suppose it is because we have just come in out of the sunshine. I can smell zebra and I can hear zebra, but I can't see zebra, said the leopard. Well, wait a bit, said the Ethiopian. It's a long time since we have hunted them. Perhaps we have forgotten what they were like. Fiddle, said the leopard. I remember them perfectly on the high veld, especially their marrow bones. Giraffe is about 17 feet high, of exclusively fulvous golden yellow from head to heel, and zebra is about 4.5 feet high, of exclusively grey fawn color from head to heel. Said the Ethiopian, looking into the speckly shadows of the aboriginal flora forest. Then they ought to show up in this dark place like ripe bananas in a smokehouse. But they didn't. The leopard and the Ethiopian hunted all day, and though they could smell them and hear them, they never saw one of them. For goodness sake, said the leopard at tea time, let us wait until it gets dark. This daylight hunting is a perfect scandal. We can't find anything, it's a waste. So they waited till dark, and then the leopard heard something breathing sniffily in the straight that fell all stripy through the branches, and he jumped at the noise. And it smelt like zebra, and it felt like zebra, and when he knocked it down, it kicked like zebra. But he couldn't see it. So he said, be quiet, oh you person without any form. I am going to sit on your head till morning, because there is something about you that I do not understand. Presently, he heard a grunt and a crash and a scramble, and the Ethiopian called out, I've caught a thing that I can't see. It smells like giraffe, and it kicks like giraffe, but it hasn't got any form. Don't you trust it, said the leopard. Sit on its head till the morning, same as me. They haven't any form, any of them. So they sat down on the head of the animal till bright morning time. And then the leopard said, what have you at your end of the table, brother? The Ethiopian scratched his head and said, it ought to be exclusively a rich, fulvous orange tawny from head to heel. and it ought to be giraffe. But it is covered all over with chestnut blotches. What have you at your end of the table, brother? And the leopard scratched his head and said, it ought to be exclusively a delicate greyish fawn, and it ought to be zebra, but it is covered all over with black and purple stripes. What in the world have you been doing to yourself, zebra? Don't you know that if you were on high veld, I could see you 10 miles off? You haven't got any farm now. Yes, said the zebra, but this is in the high veld. Can't you see? I can see now, said the leopard, but I couldn't all yesterday. How is it done? Let us up, said the zebra, and we will show you how. They let the zebra and the giraffe get up, and the zebra moved away to some little thorn bushes where the sunlight fell all stripy, and the giraffe moved off to some tallish trees where the shadows fell all blotchy. Now watch, said the zebra and the giraffe. This is the way it is done. 1, 2, 3, and where's your breakfast? Leopards stared, and the Ethiopians stared. But all they could see were stripy shadows and blotches and shadows in the forest, but never a sign of zebra or giraffe. They had just walked off and hidden themselves in the shadowy forest. Hey, said the Ethiopian, that's a trick worth learning. Take a lesson by it, leopard. You show up in this dark place like a bar of soap in a cold scuttle. It is so obvious when the leopard is there. Ho, ho, said the leopard, would it surprise you very much to know that you show up in this dark place like a mustard plaster on a sack of coals? So both the Ethiopian and the leopard were too obvious in that background. Well, calling names won't catch dinner, said the Ethiopian. The long and the little of it is that we don't match our backgrounds. I'm going to take Babian's advice. He told me I ought to change. And as I have nothing to change except my skin, I'm going to change my skin. What to? Said the leopard, tremendously excited. I'm going to change my skin to a nice working blackish brownish color with a little purple in it and touches of salty blue. It will be the very thing for hiding in hollows and behind trees. Very, very interesting story. So he changed his skin and then and there. And the leopard was more excited than ever. He had never seen a man change his skin before. So this Ethiopian changed his skin. But what about me? Said the leopard, when the Ethiopian had worked his last little finger into his fine new black skin. You take Babian's advice too. He told you to go into spots. So I did, said the leopard. I went into other spots as fast as I could. I went into this spot with you, and a lot of good it has done to me. It didn't help me. Oh, said the Ethiopian. Babian didn't mean spots in South Africa. He meant spots on your skin. What's the use of that? Said the leopard. Think of giraffe, said the Ethiopian. Or if you prefer stripes, think of zebra. They find their spots and stripes give them perfect satisfaction. Said the leopard. I won't look like zebra, not forever so. He doesn't want to look like a zebra. Well, make up your mind, said the Ethiopian, because I'd hate to go hunting with you, but I must if you insist on looking like a sunflower against a tarred fence. So if you insist on looking like a sunflower against a tarred fence, then Ethiopian will not go hunting with the leopard. That's what he says. I'll take spots then, said leopard, but don't make them too vulgar big. I wouldn't look like giraffe, not forever so. Okay, I'll make them with the tips of my fingers, said the Ethiopian. There's plenty of black left on my skin still. Stand over. Then the Ethiopian put his 5 fingers close together, and there was plenty of black left on his new skin. Till and he pressed them all over the leopard, and whatever the 5 fingers touched, there they left 5 little black marks, all close together. You can see them on any leopard skin you like. Best beloved, sometimes the fingers slipped and the marks got a little blurred. But but if you look closely, any leopard, now you will see that there are always 5 spots for 5 black fingertips. Now you are a beauty, said the Ethiopian. You can lie out on the bare ground and look like a heap of pebbles. You can lie out on the naked rocks and look like a piece of pudding stone. You can lie out on a leafy branch and look like sunshine sifting through the leaves. And you can lie right across the center of a path and look like nothing in particular. Think of that and purr. But if I'm all this, said the leopard, why didn't you go spotty too? Oh, plain black is best, said the Ethiopian. Now come along, we'll see if we can't get even with Mr. 123. Where's your breakfast? So they went away and lived happily ever afterward. Best beloved, that's all. Oh no, when you will hear grown-ups say, can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard change his spots? I don't think even grown-ups would keep on saying such a silly thing if the leopard and the Ethiopian hadn't done it once, do you? But they will never do it again, best beloved. They are quite contented as they are. It's a nice little story for kids. That's nice. So that's the leopard, and that is the Ethiopian. Inga, where is the picture of the leopard and the Ethiopian? Good. So they also changed their skin color to merge with the background. That's it. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.